Welcome to Law Logical, your ultimate source for all things law. Today, we delve into the intriguing world of live-in relationships in India. But what exactly are live-in relationships? Simply put, they are a type of arrangement where two people decide to live together, share a domestic life, but without the formalities of marriage. In the diverse and multifaceted society of India, this concept has seen a gradual acceptance over the years. While some view it as a step towards a progressive society, others still hold reservations. This acceptance, or lack thereof, highly influences the legal perspective of live-in relationships in India. It's a complex issue, interwoven with the threads of societal norms, personal freedoms, and legal implications. As we navigate through this topic, remember that the laws of a land are a reflection of its cultural, social, and moral ethos. So, are live-in relationships legal in India? That's the million-dollar question. The short answer is that there's no specific law in India that either legalizes or criminalizes live-in relationships. This leaves us in a bit of a gray area. However, over the years, various court rulings have provided some much-needed clarity. In the landmark case of Indra Sarma versus VKV Sarma in 2013, the Supreme Court of India held that a live-in relationship comes within the ambit of the law specified in the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 25. This essentially means that if a woman is in a live-in relationship, she will have the same rights as a legally wedded wife. Another case that merits attention is that of S. Kushbu versus Kanyamal and ANR in 2010. The Supreme Court ruled that a live-in relationship is permissible and the act of two majors living together cannot be considered illegal or unlawful. Furthermore, the court has also recognized the concept of relationship in the nature of marriage under the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act. This gives certain rights to partners in a live-in relationship, including protection from domestic violence and the right to maintenance. However, it's important to note that the courts have also clarified that not all live-in relationships will be treated as relationships in the nature of marriage. There are certain prerequisites, such as the couple must hold themselves out to society as being akin to spouses, they must be of legal age to marry, and they must be otherwise qualified to enter into a legal marriage. So, while there isn't a specific law governing live-in relationships, the legal stance in India seems to lean towards acceptance, albeit with certain conditions. It's a complex issue and the law continues to evolve as society changes. In essence, while there isn't a specific law, the legal stance on live-in relationships in India leans towards acceptance. Now, you might wonder, can I stay in a live-in relationship without divorce in India? Well, it's a bit of a legal gray area. While live-in relationships aren't illegal, being in one while still legally married could invite legal complications. Let's delve into this a bit. India's adultery laws underwent a significant change in 2018, ruling that adultery is not a criminal offense. However, it can still be a ground for divorce. So, if you're legally married and choose to live with someone else, your spouse could potentially file for divorce on the grounds of adultery. Furthermore, India's family law upholds marital obligations. So even while in a live-in relationship, you may still be liable for duties towards your legal spouse. This could include financial support, property rights, and more. So, tread carefully. Adultery laws and marital obligations can complicate live-in relationships. It's always wise to seek legal counsel to understand your rights and obligations fully. Let's now turn our attention to Section 125 of the Criminal Procedure Code. How does it relate to live-in relationships? Section 125 of the Criminal Procedure Code, or CRPC, is an intriguing legal provision. It mandates that a man has to provide maintenance or financial support to his wife, children, and parents if they are unable to maintain themselves. Now, you might be thinking, but this section talks about wives and children. How does it connect to live-in relationships? Well, the Indian judiciary, in its wisdom, has progressively interpreted this law, extending its protection to women in live-in relationships too. The courts have held that if a man and woman have been living together as husband and wife for a considerable period, the woman would be presumed to be the wife for the purpose of Section 125 CRPC. In a landmark judgment, the Supreme Court in 2010, in the case of Chanmunia vs. Virendra Kumar Singh Kushwaha, held that the term wife should be interpreted to include women involved in a relationship in the nature of marriage. This interpretation brought women in live-in relationships under the ambit of the maintenance provision. However, it's essential to note that this doesn't mean all live-in relationships are treated the same. The court evaluates each case on its facts, considering factors such as the duration of the relationship, the shared household, pooling of resources, and public socialization as a couple. So, what does this mean for live-in partners? It means that if a live-in relationship ends, the woman can claim maintenance under Section 125 CRPC if she cannot maintain herself. This provision, however, is not an absolute right and is subject to the court's discretion based on the specifics of the case. So, while not explicitly stated, Section 125 CRPC can indeed be applicable to live-in relationships. It's a testament to the evolving nature of our legal system, adapting to changing social realities and providing protection where it is needed. Scene script. Are unmarried couples allowed to live together in India? Let's find out. Unmarried couples living together, or cohabitation, is a concept that is gradually gaining acceptance in India. From a legal standpoint, there are no explicit laws that prevent two consenting adults from living together out of wedlock. This is supported by a landmark judgment by the Supreme Court of India in the year 2013, which stated that living together is a right to life and cannot be held illegal. The court further emphasized that living together is not an offense. It cannot be an offense under the Indian Penal Code and it cannot be a punishable offense under the law. The judgment was a significant step towards recognizing the rights of unmarried couples who choose to live together. However, it's important to understand that societal norms may not always align with legal norms. Despite the legal acceptance, cohabitation is often met with societal disapproval, especially in more conservative parts of the country. The societal pressure can sometimes lead to challenges and complications for couples choosing to live together outside marriage. Yet, the growing acceptance of live-in relationships indicates a societal shift. More and more couples are choosing to live together before tying the knot, to better understand their compatibility and to make an informed decision about their future. This trend is particularly noticeable in urban areas where societal norms are evolving with the changing times. In conclusion, while the law doesn't explicitly prohibit unmarried couples from living together in India, societal acceptance varies. It's crucial for couples to be aware of both the legal and societal implications before deciding to cohabit. Remember, every individual has the right to choose their life path, and this includes the decision to live with a partner outside of marriage. It's essential to respect this right and to foster a society that values individual choice and freedom. While the law doesn't prohibit it, societal acceptance is a different ballgame altogether. What about documentation for live-in relationships? Is there any paperwork involved? You might be surprised to hear that there's no formal documentation required for a live-in relationship in India. Unlike marriages, where you have a marriage certificate, live-in relationships don't come with an official document. However, that doesn't mean you should overlook the importance of having some form of evidence about your relationship. This can be crucial, especially in case of legal disputes. For instance, letters, photographs, or even social media posts showing that you're in a long-term relationship can be useful. Additionally, having a common address on official documents like your Aadhaar card or passport can also serve as proof of your live-in relationship. Similarly, joint bank accounts or property bought together can further validate your relationship in the eyes of the law. While there's no official document, proof of your relationship can come in handy. We've covered quite a bit of ground today on the legalities of live-in relationships in India. We've delved into the legality of such relationships, the possibilities of cohabiting without divorce, and the applicability of Section 125 CRPC. We've also shed light on the rights of unmarried couples who choose to live together and the necessary documentation for live-in relationships. Understanding these legal nuances is crucial in today's evolving societal norms. It empowers you to make informed decisions, safeguard your rights, and navigate through complex situations with confidence. It's not just about knowing the law, but about understanding how it applies to you and your unique circumstances. Thank you for joining us on Law Logical. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it, and drop your questions in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe for more legal wisdom. Stay legally literate.